daar aan die kant.
Okay.
So ik heb nou weer gerecord, zoals jullie wel kom check-up, kan jullie net weer komen. So, prijs het nou, is gereject, nee? And the fact that price rejected here just confirms that this is a false breakout. Just the fact that price rejected from here. So we have a false breakout, we have a clean rejection, and then we have another rejection. So at this point, so this is what I'm seeing, and um, I'm just waiting for price, to reject and push past our analysis, and then take profit one, take profit two. So
Mm.
all I'm waiting is for this rejection to complete so that it can come to here, and then it will most probably, retest a low that's been made while price is gonna like play here. Then it will probably shoot back down. If you have if you have a dollar account, a dollar real account, now would also be the best time to make withdrawals. So whenever you see, you should plan that as well concerning withdrawals. If you have a dollar account, like at the moment, um, the rand, the rand is weak, so this would be a perfect time to withdraw money from your account. Because if you look at where analysis is taking us, right back to the 13s.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm just texting Razion how to get back in. Um, so as you can see, we're at the support, and like I told you guys previously, when it comes to taking your support and your resistance zones, always take the first one. And as you can see, price has rejected from it really, really nicely. So concerning into the USD, price can make a run for it all the way. Obviously it's gonna go in waves. So it's gonna go one way, or price will find rejection from this area, drop lower. So um, as soon as soon as soon as price passes this point, I will start being interested in taking buys on NZD/USD. And then another something else that would also be really nice to confirm this for me. That would be a shoulder, which is already completed. the head, which is halfway completed. So if prices goes up till there, comes down till there, and pushes up, I'll also be happy with that because it is an inverse head and shoulders, and an inverse head and shoulders is also indicative of a trend that's changing. So
When you say,
after
sorry, Rydal, when you say it's indicative of a trend that's changing, can you go back to that chart?
what do you mean?
Wait, you say when you have an inverse head and shoulders.
Yeah,
With other words, it's showing bearish.
no, inverse head and shoulders is a bullish move. Inverse head, this is like this. This is an inverse head and shoulders. Shoulders, head, shoulders, head, shoulders. So we already have a shoulder. We already have like off of a head. So if prices goes till there, comes back down to meet the shoulder and run back up, I will also take that as a bullish enough sequence.
Okay?
Operate on it. So,
Um, I'm not even gonna try and catch though. Um, for gold, this is the last I broke out of, and I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that price will take a push back down once more, just to come and retest this area so that we can catch a buy all the way up until here, because it seems like price is going all the way there. And the reason why gold just gained so crazy, that's because the Japanese yen lost its safe haven status. So everyone that was in there as well, and it's all due to the coronavirus. So everyone that like had their money in Japan and Asian currencies, they took it out there and they placed their money in gold, which is why you see this one rapid movement for for uh, for the week. Sure. That's a nice 5,900 pips that it just ran. And
just
that that is because the yen lost its safe haven status. So the next safe haven status after the yen would be gold. It only makes sense that gold is gaining right now. Um, USD CAD, yeah, this one is playing up and down, up and down, up and down. It created a low or is busy creating a new low. So whenever price drops lower, I'm thinking it's gonna drop lower with this area. And when it gets back to retesting that low point, I will just sell further up until the area of this head and shoulders. And then at the head and shoulders, I will take my money on the sell, and I would rather wait for a break and a retest if I'm gonna trade further down on USD CAD. But otherwise, I'm really expecting a head and shoulders over here. Um, Australian dollar and Canadian dollar. So price broke out of the multiple tested zone. It hasn't, I won't call this a retests because it hasn't retested this price area as clearly as it is. I see price just made an indecision candle over here. So I'm expecting price to go up to here and fall. So I'm not gonna be interested in taking any trades on US on ORCAD. I'd wait for OTED to come to here before I start looking at it and before I start prepping for sell trades. OTHF, I don't actually have an expectation with OTHF here, as you can see, incomplete analysis. That's just going to cost some real brain work there, some that I do not have tonight. OJPY is caught up in this consolidation zone, and this comes like right after, breaking out of this zone. Now, one thing that's important to note here for me, if this breakout and price ran out, right, this this might be um, a false confirmation, right? But that is basically a closure below this area, and that is indicative of price falling, regardless if it's like a green candle or not. So for it to come back up, right? Because what I'm checking on OJPY, the reason why it's going back and it's fighting the support here real hard is so that it can go retest this, because ever since this was broken and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests over here. Ever since it's been broken, it hasn't been retested again. So I'm waiting for price to actually go up till there, and then you will see one massive fall from OJPY. If it's not gonna fall, it would break up. Then I would wait for a retest on the upside so that I can buy all the way till there. ODNZD, I'm expecting some bearish movement on ODNZD. It broke below this area and it closed there. So that is really a sign in itself. Closest support. So I'm expecting price to, go and retest for. That is literally what I'm expecting ODNZD to do. Right now. So this rejection also tells me that there is some sort of support, I'd say. And just because it closed above this diagonal support, so I would literally expect price to go up, reject in this area once, and then fall, fall on down. Um, Can I see an upward movement for it? Yes, I can. But then this breakout needs to be a little bit more convincing. And the reason why I would say yes to seeing a um, a bullish movement for this is because here's a support which is like actually not far from where price bottomed, and then it's in the area of this low as well. So do I see a movement till there? Yes, I do. But then price has to give me a breakout that's a little bit more convincing than this nonsense. KJPY, not much that I can say about this one. Um, just broke that high. It broke this high as well. So I can see some upwards movement coming from it, but that's only like if it breaks all these lows here. But as you can see, like this analysis was done really lazily. So I'm not actually interested in KJPY right now. What it can do, yeah, when I scan so fast with my eyes, what it can do, it can go up, fall from here, and create head and shoulders for us to fall back down. But I would need to see a little bit more convincing moves from KJPY, either below or up. I want to see more convincing moves. KHF rejected so nicely on its way down.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone followed this.
oh yeah. Terima lagi ya.
Okay, so we had the break, and this is a little bit of a false confirmation. So there's no entry yet, but I see a rejection over here, which is really making me think that price is going up. And if you see, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Hmm.
Because I see
What's
it
your
as
favorite
clear as
weapon?
I see it as clear as daylight. Head and shoulders. This rejection tells me that price will shoot up and it will go and retest back. But even though that's what I'm seeing, even though that's what I'm feeling, the only thing that will come through for us is price. So even though my analysis, even though I feel that my analysis at this particular point is on point, let's wait for price to show us the real moves. CHFJPY. So after, yeah, I kind of went on this and this to give us a sell, and it actually didn't. And when I saw it was on this area, I was like, okay, let me rather not send a signal because if I scroll back, I will see one, two, three, four rejections on the zone. And if I go further, yeah, there's a whole lot of activity on this area. So that is actually what it did. It ran for the hills one way. So
Hmm.
uh, what I'm checking it will come back. Have a probable retest of this high, and then jump jump out of this consolidation area because that's where it's trapped right now. Because we have a clearly defined bottom and a clearly defined high, and price is just moving in between it. So
Hmm.
I'm actually hoping that price would actually, come back here and shoot out. If it doesn't come back and go out, if it comes and it comes to the bottom, we can expect the head and shoulders to take us further down.
Yeah.
Uh, Euro odd, as you can see, we're at a very strong resistance area. So yeah, it would only be natural for me to expect a downward movement from here. I know I expected a downward movement on Euro based on this head and shoulders and based on this low. because it falls in one area. I was really trustworthy of that. And I think this was one of the charts where I just really saw my ass. So it's at a clearly defined, it's at a clearly defined resistance right now. And I'm just hoping for price to give us some price action where it comes down, retest that low of the retest, that low will eventually mean that we can connect um, a trend line. And then because this decline is too sharp, guys, I've seen my ass so many times on this decline. So I'd rather wait for it to come down, go up again and touch again, and then fall back. Like if you can see here, price came out of the area, went back up, created a low for your trend line to be tagged on. Did you miss confirmation? No. You take profit one, you take profit two, and you take your final take profit. So there's really no shame in waiting for a move to be confirmed. This this scenario over here, this is a move confirmed. If I go to 1 hour, it will make a little bit more sense. There, that is a move confirmed. Even if I had to do it like this, there's still confirmation.
Mm.
Still confirmation. So, but with creating that low going up, because if you look at it this way, this low is higher than this low. It didn't break it. So at that point, I cannot just count on the low alone. I need that rejection. That rejection will tell me that everything is chill. I will start falling. So price close below that area. I'm hoping to see a fall up until here, a rejection up from that, so that I can draw a trend line and catch the fall. If you want to have a bit of a snipe, if you want to have a bit of a snipe, but yeah, snipes, the sniper entries, those are the quicker entries, but they're also the ones that comes with a bit of risk. Hey, perfect, perfect. I always treat the market like that. Um, if I look at EuroCAD, it broke out of a clearly defined support. So the support flipped. It's a resistance now. And I want you to note one thing that's really important. And the reason why I put my indicators on now was so that you guys can note um, something as well. So um, when this zone was offering price support, you saw a whole lot of green dots. Wherever it rejected, you saw a green dot. Now, if you look here, right, I'm just speaking on the dots now because I know some of you guys are wondering how to read this. So I've highlighted all the dots now, right? All the red dots. Now, the red dots is showing you that there's a resistance from a previous broken zone. Now, if you catch this, you will see that this red dots form or came in the same area as these green dots, in the same area as the green dots. So this is telling you that this over here is the area which these are rejecting from. My point, my point that I'm trying to make, you are seeing a whole lot of green around here now. We have a new low.
Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away.
So
Go
we have
away.
a new low here, and because this area has been rejected so much to the upside, I'm almost dead sure that whenever price gets to it, it will push back down. This will then be my first take profit. So as soon as I see a red dot in this area, I know I can start expecting my fall. All I then need to do is follow.
Ganda story, Rai.
Sorry, Cynthia.
Um, so on can you guys hear now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Cool, man. So when we look at the weekly time frame of Euro CHF, you will see that price broke below the support, and it has been tested multiple times. One, two. If I had to extend it, this one would also count. But let's stick to the real shit. One, two, three, four, five. So there's five rejections on this area. Price
Yeah,
went
but
up, price went up, and it came in that vicinity. It didn't touch it exactly, but it pushed back down. That is just the strength of an area that's been tested multiple times. It came to a high that when price broke, it never came back and actually retested. What happened previously was price would come to this place and it would shoot back up. So it's here again, and I'm expecting price to actually fall into the zone. It didn't touch the support of this channel yet, and I'm actually hoping that it would, so that we can have a bullish some bullish movement over there. Um, so yeah, as you can see, if you had to look at it from a daily perspective, um, as soon as it breaks up, I am gonna want to take a buy, but I need more evidence of that buy. I need more evidence of that buy. Early in the week, I told you guys that price will come down to this area and it's gonna reject up. It did so. I think I made the prediction on 1 hour. So it came to this area, it rejected from it. So now all I'm expecting is the breakout, the confirmation, so that we can go up until this area over here. And once confirmation is got, then you can have a multiple set of take profits. So you can have a take profit one, two, three, four, or you can have one, two, three, you know. But as soon as one, I know for a fact my one is gonna be over here, and as soon as take profit one gets hit, I put my stop losses on my entry points. Actually, before that already, but this week I'm really gonna practice some insane patience, and I'll actually wait for take profit one to be triggered before I put my stop loss on my entry point. Euro JPY is back at a multiple tested zone. And if I had to get my second opinion, I'm sure yep, it closed back in the zone. So I know this area actually got exposed. Let me not downplay that. So with price breaking out here, closing above it, clearly this area got exposed. So if it has to come back down, I'm wanting to see a retest and a fall. And if it comes back up, I wouldn't be surprised because this closed above this area, exposed this area over here to price. So, and as you can see, the first rejection was actually really clear. There was no wick above there, just like a small piece of wick. The wick got bigger and the close happened outside of the zone. So I'm really thinking that this area got compromised, and if price starts moving up, I will not be surprised. I will just kindly wait for I'll just kindly wait for confirmation. If I look at this is the last high that was created in this area. This is the last high. Here's a place that also rejected from it. So if price rejects from it now, I won't be surprised. But if you look at it this way, we have a possible head and shoulders on our hands as well. Uh, the shoulder, head, and if this comes down now and actually rejects, then we'll have the other shoulder as well. So yeah, that is why I say I wouldn't be surprised if if it came back up all because this area got exposed, all because that area got exposed. Next on my list would be Euro NZD. Euro NZD came to a previous area, previous multiple tested area. So, just insert my second opinion quickly. This was a considerable close below, and I see some, rejection of the uh, the previous high to the last high. I'm seeing some rejection of it. Remember what I told you guys last week? If I see two candles, I see that as a retracement. So this downward movement happened for two candles. To me, that's a retracement. Um, so price is actually, uh, so, uh, or price was offered support around this area, but I wouldn't be surprised if you look at it from a daily perspective. You will see that that price point doesn't actually matter, and I would look for a fall all the way down to the support. GBP odd broke out of this area over here, out of the daily area, and support was offered there. I see support is being offered again. Um, Here's another high also here, which can support that whole bullish scenario from here. And if I had to scroll down to my hourly time frame, it's not, it's not strange to expect bullish movement over here. Um, So once again, with this closed, firm closed above this area, um, this zone got exposed. So I wouldn't find a buying opportunity over here. I wouldn't find it strange at all. GBP CAD just came above a support zone, and it's actually on the zone right now. I see an indecision candle, and normally when I see an indecision candle like this, that normally means there's a big move up. Now, I know you guys might think, but Rydell, how can you see based just on one candle? You know, it might look like I'm talking shit right now. It might look like I'm talking complete shit right now by saying that seeing this candle after a downward move, I see a big movement after that. Um, you see this candle? There's a similar one. See that up movement there. But if I have to take one that looks a whole lot more like this one, take here. This candle tells me, this indecision candle tells me that the steam to the downside is running out.
Out. Yeah.
So I've seen this candle here and I had an upward movement. I see it again here and then I see a bigger upward movement. Now,
Hmm.
just look at this crazy part because it doesn't just count for one side, it counts for the other side as well. I have this big upward movement, right? I have a bullish indecision candle. I have a bullish, that's still fine. Goes up, whoop, bearish indecision candle. Created a high, price stayed below it, and it fell. So that is really important to note that whenever you see this in a trend, just know that the steam is running out towards that side. So yeah, steam, this thing showed me a steam ran out towards the downside, and all I'm literally waiting for is the breakout, the confirmation, because this area over here has already been exposed. This area here has already been exposed since the first closing of of actually since this closing price here as this area has been exposed. So yeah, I'm expecting a bullish movement over here. GBP same thing, same thing I'm seeing with GBP Um, I'm seeing price is rejecting this area over here. Let me just get my second opinion quickly. Got my confirmation that there is a zone. All I need to do now, all I would do now is wait for my break and my confirmation outside of this area. After I got confirmation, take profit one, take profit two. GBP broke out of this last highs. As you can see, the candle that came down and touched, this one is a bullish candle as well, exposing this area. So I'm just looking for a move down to come and touch this area. Msuku will move down to come and touch this area so that I can reanalyze the same way I did here now. Just looking at a small move, a really small move. Maybe that move happened already. Actually. So just expecting this drop to complete and then I'd expect it to rise again. So it's actually showing us we have a bullish pound for the week.
Mm.
This is the only one where I'm seeing um, a drop. This is literally the only one where I'm seeing a drop in the pound for the pound because it came to a previously tested support. I mean resistance, sorry. It pushed down before and I'm pretty sure it will push down again. And when it does, we can expect that drop to go as far as this area. Let's make it higher a bit so that I include the previous. Wait, let me actually just be on point instead of guessing. Yep, I'm on point. So yeah, I'll just expect this fall to happen, and I would expect it to come all the way to here. It's a decade. It is in a support area right now. Um, when I zoom out, I will see that it came to it paused its most lowest point, created a new low, and it basically jumped out of its skin there. Now, what's important to note is that price came in this area previously and rejected out of it. So, yes, it's in a downtrend right now, but I would not put it past price to actually go up to go and retest a multiple tested uh, 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 um, area within the market.
Yes, Dada. Is it true?
Hold on.
Oh, Dada, true.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 rejections from this area, and since it broke, it just had like one retest and never again. So this bullish move over here, this bullish move, it's not. I wouldn't put it past NZDK to run all the way up to there. All we have to do
And then, I'm back!
is have to wait for that break and the confirmation after that. NZDCHF, it's at the support. So I'm expecting some bullish movements from him as well for the week. As you can see, it closed above support. So I'm expecting a break and a confirmation outside of this area. And then NZD same like I think it's all JPY that or is it Euro JPY? Nope. NZD is caught in a bit of a consolidation zone. Um,
Oh, Dada.
it came to resistance, pushed back down, didn't go all the way, pushed back up. So um, this would probably be the one that contradicts all the bullish movements that we've been seeing with NZD-CAD, NZD-CHF, and remember we saw a bullish movement on NZD-USD, and remember we saw a bearish movement on GBP NZD, meaning
Yes.
we see NZD strengthening against the pound. So um, this would be the one that's like contradicting all the bullish movement that we've been seeing for the New Zealand dollar. So I would actually, concerning the other pairs, seeing that the New Zealand dollar is strengthening against all the others, I would expect the jump out, retest, and the upward movement up until there. Um, yeah, and then once it breaks out and retests, that would be when it comes back to this area. That would be when I'm looking out for the movement to buy 72 .363. So that would that would be the last chart. Um, that concludes the chart work. Before I leave, do you guys have any questions?
Yes, prep.
Any? Do you have questions?
At this moment, not. I've written everything down. I think the main thing to look out for is the GBPs and the NZDs this week.
Yep.
I think
Most,
that's the ones that we have to concentrate on.
most definitely.
What?
Uh,
I made a few stars as well with the AUD NZD, uh, the CAD CHF. I think the CAD CHF was the one that moved upwards, and we're expecting to see downward movement there. Looks like a nice one as well.
yep. We're expecting some downward movement there.
Yes. So uh, if I have any questions, then I'll just put it on WhatsApp again.
No problem.
But it's starting to look clearer. I've been struggling with the with the trend lines, this rectangles that you are pulling in, but I'm starting to see now the previous zones that you're going through.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've been playing a lot with with that Fibonacci,
Mm-hmm.
so that's starting to make some sense as well.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. Razia, do you have any questions?
Ah, I think
And you, Gwyneth, do you have any questions?
Is almal nog in hulle USD CAD of het by al ge-exit of?
Um,
yeah.
ek neem aan hulle sal nog in hulle USD CAD enetjie wees.
Lekker is nog in.
Ja, like sy is mos nou al 'n trusted enetjie, so sy sal weet wat hoe baie patience
Mm.
rewarding patience kan wees. Um, but ja, Raime sê hy is nog in syne, so ek hoop maar dat die ander mense nog in hulle sin is, because at the end of the day, als waarop het afkom nee, is patience. Baie mense, baie keer expect hulle die move om onmiddellik te gebeur en het gaat nie altyd gebeur nie. Baie kere nee, is dit dat ons technical analysis line met ons fundamental analysis. Nou as dit miskien, ek maak miskien byvoorbeeld, ons is nou pro-dollar in ons trades en nou is dit dat die nuushoek net happen to be pro-dollar, so now it goes like with us all the way. You see? So sometimes the moves happen like really fast, and then there's those times that, or let me rather say, um, all the time I don't expect it to happen that fast or fast at all, because um, in the market news and stuff will also sometimes push price against you for a while, and then you will like get nervous and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you hold it, if you have faith, if you will be strong for it, then I'm pretty sure that um, there's no small retracement that will scare you because um, you're probably asking because where's the cat? You're probably asking because it did all of this, eh? Now, in this time, this is where um, a whole lot of people would actually be nervous, and some would get out. There's the head and shoulders. That one would be like convincing for people to get out. And those who actually got out there, they can re-enter. There's a chance for them to re-enter. All that needs to happen is price just needs to reject from it. That's the only thing that needs to happen. But yeah, Ramazin is USD CAD. I think when it made this movement upwards, this thing kicked me out on my one account. So I actually haven't checked up on my big account since early in this week. I've just been feeling down this week. Like, I got to that point where um, each year as you go as a trader, as you grow as a trader, you will like it will need different levels of you, man. And I'm at that level where I don't need distractions. I don't need, all of that nonsense. And I just been feeling down this week because it came to a point where I have to like tell my friend, a long time friend actually, but listen, you're actually holding me back. And like when you get here, we actually just sit and do nothing. We just smoke weed, we get high, we watch movies, and so like I've been a little bit depressed based on that because I had to tell a friend now. But listen, like fuck off basically because you know um, I am a responsible business person. I always keep my word to my clients and stuff. But when you're here, then it's like we just do the same shit over and over and over again. Um, so yeah, I just feel that this level is that I'm on now will require me to level up on a personal level as well. So distractions and stuff, I will tell you guys, distractions and stuff, there will come a time where you will have to push whatever is distracting you. You will have to push it to the side, whether it's stuff that gets in the way of your emotions, and now you get confusion within the market. You get like traders block, like the same way a writer would get writer's block where he can't write further. You will get traders block where you are so distracted with other things that whenever you open a chart, it's like you are blocked. You can't make head or tail out of whatever you're seeing on the chart. So whenever you get to distractions and stuff, like I always say, um, like I told most of my friends before, like I don't actually I have like a handful of friends. I can count my friends on my hands, but they basically know my motto. Those who really know me, they know my motto. If you're not making money with me and it's not my off time, like my off time basically comes Friday 5 o'clock till now, to when I have to see you guys again. So that's probably the only time I'm available during the weekend. So if you're not making money with me, it's obvious that you are just distracting me. So, when it gets time to pushing distractions to the side, whether it's in the form of friends or in the form of negative thoughts, I can tell you each level of elevation in Forex, it's going to need a different level of you. You should just be prepared to push whatever needs to be pushed to the side. So, thank you guys for joining. I hope you have some good insights on what you are expecting for the rest of the week and for what is coming. Um, I will be like really, really hands on this week because, after I had this conversation with this guy, I just felt like a big a big weight has been lifted off my shoulders, because um like as like you guys have been to my house. You guys know I'm humble. I do not let money get to my head. And when it comes to, I wouldn't say pushing people out of my life, but when it comes to just like stopping their constant access to me, I would also have to do it at the way that it's not really harsh, and they so much don't feel now like, oh shit, this guy feels like he has money. I'm too poor for him. I can't sit in his, and that's not the case, because my case is just I have to be 150% at all times, so that whatever I give you guys, whichever way I respond to you guys, whether it's in the form of a text, Skype, chart work, it always has to be on point. And this is just in day one part of that conversation that I said, where when it's time to be disciplined, it's time to be disciplined. So let's all have a liquor week. Wednesday, we will come back and we will check up on all of the other pairs that basically we evaluated everything tonight. So the call is recorded, and if you guys are gonna work further on, because believe you me, I'm too tired now. I am not gonna send no setups in the group. You guys had made the effort to join the Skype call. It is recorded, so you can just like catch up on the group. And when it comes to a particular chart, you can just pause, minimize, and copy your chart on your platform the way mine is, so that when we start tomorrow, and even if it isn't now that you're gonna do it like that, but when we start, I think I'm gonna start past 8 past 9. Um, yeah, past 8 most probably. Then you guys are ready, and we can attack the markets knowing that we are prepared. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys Wednesday night again.
Thank you, Rydal, and thanks for your time, my friend.
It's a pleasure. It's a
Bye bye, you
pleasure.
guys.
Dankie,
Bye.
bye. Bye.